Hey guys, welcome back. Well, I fought with machines all day today. It was a long day. My back is wrecked right now, but I did salvage today and I had some successes. So join me for a fun vlog today and see what I thought I was going to get done over at Project 291, which was to begin planting and maybe even finish today. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, sorry. So anyways, but now I'm ready for tomorrow. As long as we don't get any pop-up showers, tomorrow we'll start over again. All right, so here's my plan for today. I'm going to take the Coyote and the chisel disc over to 291. I'm going to drop it off, then I'm going to come back home and I'm going to pick up the Can-Am. And I'm going to repair the old seeder from last year and mount it on the Can-Am and then bring it back and start planting and get some work done today on planting. But let's see how it goes. Well, it's that time again. The Coyote is going to work. Taking it over to Project 291. And we're going to start in on them plots. So now I got to figure out if I'm going to put the planter and run the drag with the Honda or the Can-Am. I got to look at how easy it'll be on both to mount the seeder on front as well. The borrow pit's turning into a lake right there. But it's working. This is already starting to dry up nicely. Just needs a little bit more dirt and then a final grade, and then we're going to bring some stone in. All right, there it is. The keys are now programmed. I got to hit the road. I got a friend that's stopping in. All right, so the next mission for the new Can-Am is to make it what we bought it for, a work machine. I'm going to make this into a planting juggernaut here just in a few minutes, but I thought we'd take a quick look at it while it was clean. And if you're new to the channel, I have done some trail rides with this thing, but now it's time to make it into a work monster. So let's roll. All right, so I got this basket so that I could mount the new seeder on here easier. And one of the things I really liked, which was a bonus, was this link system. All right, so the basket for other ATVs comes with all kinds of nuts and bolts, and big ones and smaller ones and screws. But with the link system, it's this easy. All right, one. And then you snug it down, which I may need two hands, maybe not. And it locks in, boom, and it's sturdy. And these have steel frames under them. So that quick, this basket's on and off. Now they do have a little keeper you could put in there, which I don't think I'm going to, because once this thing locks, it's pretty sturdy. Nice. So I had a real good start to today. That's my cedar from last year, and I broke the plate on it. Not quite this bad. I'm going to get to that. So I ordered just an extra plate. I figured, all right, I'm going to repair it. I had this new one in the box up on my shelf for an emergency backup. But now I couldn't get this thing off. I couldn't salvage this, and I'm not going to waste any more time on it. It's corroded on there. So now I'm putting together the new one and getting it mounted on the Can-Am. So I'm probably not even going to make it back over there today the way it's looking, but we'll see. All right, we got this thing ready. This was a billion times easier, and I mean a billion, than flipping these over the way they're supposed to go, because these are really tiny. And if you look down here, there's not much space at all to get sockets in. So finally I scrapped it, flipped them over, and I got it on in just a matter of minutes. So I'm gonna Gorilla Tape some carpet up here, you know, so I don't scrape my arm on it. I don't want to cut them off, because then if you want to take it off and put it back on next time, you might not have a long enough section. So finally got this thing running. It's been kind of a long day, but progress. And now, in theory, I could just pop these two quick links out and take this whole cedar off at once. All right, this is my new planting Juggernaut. Brand new cedar up front. Got this heavy duty basket. I could take this whole thing off with just two of these quick links if I want. I had to tape these up just so I don't cut my arm, because I didn't want to cut them U-bolts. I already mentioned why I turned them upside down, for a very good reason. And now on the back here, I put a 4-inch extension, so I could probably carry, let's see, 100, 200, probably 300 or 400 pounds of seed back there now, and just keep ripping on the food plots. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a hitch in there, and I'm going to grab the cultipacker and get it loaded up for planting over at Project 291. Hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow. I got the tractor over there already, so we're going to start ripping, and plots are going to be beautiful. This is why I got this machine. This is why I got an 850, because it's going to be pulling its weight. It's going to be pulling that cultipacker. It's super heavy, and the work mode on this, I guarantee you, is going to be a savior. Of course, the power steering is huge too when you're planting, making turns and stuff, especially with a cultipacker or a drag. So between the work mode and the power steering, and of course the 850 size, that's why I got this one. Right, I got my dual purpose hitch here. And pro tip of the day here, if you don't like rattling in there, you see I got some Gorilla Tape on there. I think 2 layers in there, and the pin's going to be nice and snug, and it's going to eliminate that rattling. It might be a little challenging getting it in depending on how much you put on there. Well, look at that, I got it about perfect. All right, there, now it's the true Juggernaut. Got your cedar up there, cultipacker in the back. I always try to cultipack, because it just gives your seed so much better odds when you cultipack. I'm not saying you can't just do it with a drag or a disc, but I'm saying that extra step gives you much higher chances. Should be interesting. size of the toe. Okay, so now I'm going to enter another one of my battles for today with machines. So I can't get the tilt bed to tilt down. At first I thought it was just because the cultipacker was too heavy and too far back, but as you're going to see here shortly, that was not the problem. There's definitely another problem going on here. Okay, I might have to throw a bunch of seed bags right on the edge. I can almost get it down, but I can't go forward anymore because of the fenders. Okay, otherwise I would. And that's kind of a no-win right there. So I'll figure out a way to get this locked down and go from there. All right, so I brought out, I don't know, 6 or 7 bags of fertilizer. I put them right on the tilt lip for more weight to get it to knock down. But let's see what happens next. All right, I found out what the problem was. The weight was fine to tilt it. This latch has 2 latches on it, and one time somewhere a little rock got right in there and I locked it down, and what it did was it bent that shaft. Okay, so that one of the teeth is sticking out that grabs this deck when it comes down. You know, they kind of go like this and hook it. That was holding it up. It made this hideous sound. I put a floor jack behind it, and I'm like, why ain't this thing tilting? And it was like, boom, like a big explosion, because that thing's a little bent. So it's on my list to tweak that up a little. Just needs a little grinder on that side. But at least I figured it out. I'm like, it should have gone down. Now it makes sense why it didn't. Yeah, so you could see it didn't even, the jack, it didn't even need the jack. Once it broke through that tooth, it went down on its own. Okay, here's what I'm saying. So yeah, there's one on each side. There's one here and one on the other side. And because the thing is twisted a smidge, when it goes back up like this, it sticks out just a tiny bit, like about like that. So I need to zip the end of that one off with a grinder. I'm gonna go look at it now, and maybe I'll do it, get it over with. There's the culprit right there. See it sticking out? And it's supposed to be all the way open. So that's the culprit right there. I'm gonna go get a grinder right now. All right, there is the hook. I just ground off about 1/8 inch. So now it's back to where it's supposed to be. There's just a little twist in that bar. From now on, it should cure itself, hopefully. Tomorrow it all begins. It's kind of a long day today, battling with equipment and that, but I was not prepared, but I am now. It's going to be an interesting mix. I got wheat over there. I bought them out, and then they have this, it's perennial rye, so I thought it was like the rye grain, but it's actually the rye grass. So I did some reading in that while I was there on my phone, and farmers use this stuff for cattle all the time, and some of them mix it with wheat. So the deer will love it just the same, especially when it has them fresh green shoots. And between these two, they'll reseed themselves for the fall, or at least the wheat will. And if somebody wants to till them under and burn them up and plant fall plots, you could do that too.